All right, my friends, today is May the 19th. Let's go ahead and get into the market outlook and plans for the week ahead. All right, so we'll start off with the FUD. So a little bit of yap about that, right? So the new FUD is that, they're going after Saylor for, some sort of fraud or something like that. I didn't really read too much into it. The main conversation we want to have with this topic is that we're trying to judge how the market reacts to this information, not the information itself. The information doesn't really matter. It's the response. We've had a lot of waves of FUD over the years. I don't even remember what the recent one was. Oh, it's the tariffs, right? We talked about the idea that, we were going to watch the sell-offs from tariff news diminish over time and have less and less impact until we got to that point where it didn't have any impact anymore and we traded back up. Same kind of dynamic, plays out with most FUD, right? Over the years, I've traded crypto for a long time. There's been many, different pieces of, headline FUD that we've had over the years. One of the OG ones was always China. The market would sell off from some sort of China ban, some sort of China anti-crypto stance. And it almost always just resulted in an opportunity. Yo guys, hit that like and subscribe button for me. Appreciate it. So that's really how you want to look at this stuff, right, guys? The trend is up. So when FUD comes out, you want to look at that, it's a clear opportunity, basically, right? That's the lesson we're passing on right now. It shouldn't be new information for many of you. I didn't know what the FUD would be, right? I can never predict what it will be, but generally speaking, most of the events, kind of play out exactly the same. So as it stands, I'm thinking that the new Saylor FUD is probably just your opportunity to position on, and then we'll just patiently wait over the next few days. If there's any sort of momentum loss signs or things start to look really weak following that information, then I'm wrong probably, and then we'll, retrace this trend a little bit. Let's go ahead and get into the macro yap. Pretty straightforward, right? First and foremost, same plans. No major updates because I'm just running off the same shit. Closing thoughts on macro, just a little bit of level talk. So 100K is obviously the area that you want to see held. As long as we're over 100K, it does make sense that we should be looking towards 120K. 106K, where we just rejected from locally, is, kind of local resistance. So 100K is, local support. 106K local resistance. I do think that we're looking to trade up towards 120K next. If we lose 100K, then it probably means we trade down towards 90K. Let's go ahead and move on to medium time frame. Medium time frame running off of the same plan that we originally were. We have a clear, local trend that we're working with. It's pretty strong. I feel good about it. It's just a question of, after having legged down into this 100K area, are we going to see the momentum continuation or are we going to round off? My gut still says you want to bet on the momentum continuation. You're betting with the trend. You're betting against the trend faders. I really do think there's still a lot of sideline copium about some of this stuff. So one more, legitimate leg up, which will probably make fresh all-time highs, debate people in around 115K, and maybe stall out around there. That's kind of what my gut feeling is right now. This always is a potential plan that I'm going to keep in the back of my head, that we just stay in this range and start forming, that weak structuring, and then I'm going to look to play defense. The core takeaway from higher time frame is that you want to see 100K continue to get held. If bulls can start to break 106K again, right? We failed to break it just now. If bulls can really contest that again here soon, then, I don't think that we're going to stop at, 108 or 109, right? We'll go up over 110K pretty confidently at that point, make those all-time highs, get those eyeballs on us, et cetera, et cetera. We don't want to celebrate beforehand or anything, but that's definitely what makes the most sense to me moving forward. So it's really all about eyeballing momentum. As far as the dip that just came, I did buy the dip. I talked about this on my stream on Friday, that I was looking for either a Sunday or Monday kind of dip, and we got a substantial dip off the back of new FUD, so it really lined up with my system in a lot of ways, right? The technicals lining up with the game theory, had to go ahead and send it. Closing thoughts on on medium time frame, that's pretty much it, right? I'm just patiently waiting to see if we're going to see one more. I need another spark of momentum to run shorts over. There's been some pretty substantial spot buying and spot support along the way too, and we'll look at that here in a moment anyways. Let's go ahead and move over into altcoin yap. So the altcoin yap, I'm going to keep short and sweet. Pendle is one of the, I added this into the port from a perps point of view because I just bought the dip on the perp on this. I bought Bitcoin, Solana, and Pendle on the perp. I thought about buying a couple of alts here and there, like some of the memes and stuff, but I held off on it. I didn't want to multitask too much. So I threw Pendle up into this list just because I'm long on the perp right now. But yeah, I think we got a really good dip buying opportunity. If we just roll through some of the alts, I'm very, very happy with Hype. Hype is, definitely, it looks insane, right? The chart looks phenomenal, so dips are for buying on this one. I've been kind of surprised that Altcoin has lost some of its dominance recently. It's not been leading the way. A lot of my other memes have been stronger. It still looks good overall, but yeah, I mean, maybe there's a rebalancing with Fartcoin at some point. We'll see. We'll see. Dogecoin still looks really good. Same kind of argument with Bonk, although Bonk looks a tiny bit weaker than Doge, but they're basically the same exact structure, same kind of play. If Bitcoin legs up, which I'm hopeful for, all these kind of things that are relatively strong altcoins, they're going to leg up as well, right? If you wanted a different alternative type of meme, you could go for the good old frog. We like the Pepe. This is a good looking chart as well. I don't own any substantial amounts of Pepe right now, but that's pretty much it for the memes or for the altcoin stuff, right, guys? I really just like betting on memes generally when I think we're gonna go up. Maybe a couple. Maybe we consider a hype to be a smart-ish kind of play. We'll see though, right? It's all gonna come down to what Bitcoin does this week here. So that's it for me this week. Let me know if you have any questions. TLDR on the market thoughts are, I hope that we go up this week. Been casting the summoning circles, sacrificing goats, doing whatever is necessary to make number go up, and we just sit here patiently and wait and pray. I've got a few different plans if things start to look shaky. My first go-to is going to be to short perps probably or futures in order to start to play defense before I would start selling off spot, right? It's all about efficiency with defense here. So that's it for me. Cheers, guys.